everyone, hope you had a fabulous and stylish week, and hopefully you are all here waiting for the latest updates in Israeli fashion, culture, and lifestyle. Today's episode, we have the founder of Tel Aviv Tours, Galit Reisman, to discuss the Israeli fashion industry. Blazer cover girl Ray Segev is in the studio to talk modeling and blogging. And then last but not least, Noah Bonnet is going to be joining us to talk about a whole array of different topics, from Kate Middleton to Israel Got Talent. Trust, you won't want to miss out. So as if you guys haven't noticed this already, Israel in Style is here to show you guys the ins and outs of fashion in the Holy Land. But what if I told you that instead of just watching me on TV telling you how fabulous all our designers are, you could just meet them yourselves? Well, that's exactly what Galit Reisman did, but I'll let you have the stage. Why don't you just explain to us a little bit about what Tel Aviv Tours is?
Hi, Manuel.
Hi.
Great to be here.
Great to have you.
So Tel Aviv Style is the first and the only fashion tourism service in Israel, bridging between the international community and the local creative community, focusing in the fashion designers in Tel Aviv/Israel,
right,
and celebrating and engaging and inspiring and educating my guests about what we have here in Israel, the special story of the Israeli fashion scene.
And how did you really get involved in this? Were you working in fashion before? Did you realize that there was, like a market that you really needed to touch upon them to make these tours?
So I'm 42 years old now, but
Shocking.
in the age of 30, I shifted my career from the media field. Actually, I found myself immersing myself in the fashion world, but I was lucky enough to start with distributing Israeli fashion to the US market. And I did a shuttle Tel Aviv, New York, flying frequently, right, and representing them. That was my first start with the Israeli fashion scene in Israel. But after 5 years doing that, I was missing Tel Aviv. I was missing
right,
my city, and I wanted to do something big. So I decided to combine my three, what I called big loves: Tel Aviv, the international community, and the all community of designers. Why to work with six if I can support all of them?
Right.
And that was the beginning of Tel Aviv Style. Actually, 6 years ago, but 12 years
in the making.
In the making of the Israeli fashion
Well,
scene.
I mean, it's pretty obvious for us, but I don't know for everybody else. I mean, we do have pretty similar names for our topics.
Yeah.
Yours is TLV Style, mine is Israel in Style, a little similar. So why don't you tell us, how do people contact you? How do they get to you? Are they bloggers, influencers? Who are the people? Who are your main audience?
So actually the service approach everybody,
right,
from fashionistas to curious people, to Israelis, to international people. Yeah, I have here and there from word to mouth.
A few Israelis that are also interested in finding out who's in the scene. Yeah.
Anyone that want to celebrate, to want a new, creative experience.
Right, a different outlook.
Yeah, a different outlook. And they can approach me through my website, through word to mouth,
right,
through blogging, interviews.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
So how does it really work? So where do you start from? Who are the designers that you introduce them to? Do you have personal relationships with these designers?
Yeah.
So how does a regular tour go about?
So usually I'm starting the tours prior to the meeting themselves.
Right.
I'm sending my clients a questionnaire to get to know their profile, their preferences, their style, their lifestyle. So I will be able to customize, to tailor my tour to them. In the day of the tour, I'm meeting them usually in the hotel where they're staying after a very good breakfast.
Right.
And we are starting. And we're going to the ateliers and studios and showroom and sometimes apartment. And it's
so you go into their studios. You have a much more personal level. The tours are really giving you a personal connection with these designers. You're going to their studios, their workshops, their galleries.
Yeah. If in the past I told you that I was distributing to the US, so if in the past I was selling products, today I wanted to put in the first line of my activity the faces, the people, the spirit of the creators in Israel. And therefore I decided when I started this initiative to go to the behind the scene. I believe that the magic happened there,
right,
where they're creating, designing, and it's about one-on-one meetings with the designers themselves. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any favorite designers that you want to kind of just give a shout out to? Are they the same designers on each tour?
Okay.
How does it work? Yeah.
So I'm trying to really cover as much as I can. Unfortunately, the tours are in Tel Aviv.
Right.
So in that area,
who's ever got lucky to be here?
Yeah, when I have big missions coming and
Right.
I'm renting spaces, I'm trying to support as much as I can. But it's in Tel Aviv, so I'm limited.
Yeah.
There are names like even the shirt that I'm wearing now, Elisha Bargel is one of the shining stars, is my opinion, in Tel Aviv, emerging designers. And of course, I'm going a lot to Mesquite because for the story, for the narrative of the Israeli fashion, it's important. And I'm going to textile designers.
So you're not just going to, clothing designers.
No,
you're doing jewelry, you're doing bags, shoes, fashion, everything.
Everything, yeah.
And so people can really get to know. So you said that you have a website. People can contact you through your website, through your blog.
Yeah.
And how big are the groups that you're doing, just so we kind of get a...
From solo, and the biggest that I had was 100 women from Heart to Heart mission 3 years ago. Next month, on March 7th, I'm going to host...
March 7th?
Yeah.
My birthday.
Yeah,
okay.
You're welcome. Actually, I'm going to host 60 women from the Jewish Federation from Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be an external venue, of course, and I'm curating designer to come to pitch. But when you want to experience like the traditional tour, to go to the behind the scene, I'm trying to limit it to 15.
Right, because then you get to have one-on-one questions, kind of more room in the studios. We're in Tel Aviv after all. You can't really
the spaces are not too
pick
big.
and choose. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Galit, for being here. I'm sure so many people are going to reach out to come on to this tour.
I love that. It will be an honor. Thank you so much, Emmanuel.
Thank you so much. So for all you fashion lovers, bloggers, and influencers out there planning your next visit to the Holy Land, make sure to set up a tour with Galit and get to personally know all the hottest Israeli designers. You won't be disappointed. For young girls around the world, it's always been a dream come true to be the cover model for a huge magazine, especially nowadays with the social media buzzing and girls doing shoots left and right. Well, this one model made her dreams a reality and now the cover girl for the Blazer magazine here in the Holy Land. We have here in the studio with us Ray Segev. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
I'm so excited to have you here in the studio. I really want to know a little bit more about how you got involved in modeling and your lectures.
Well, actually, it happened in 2009.
Okay.
I was, my profession is stage design, and I worked for films, and I was on a set in Bulgaria, in Sofia. And I was there, and at night I had nothing to do because it's not my home.
You don't know where to go out.
Yes, and I was looking at blogs. And suddenly I saw this amazing model, Lizzie Miller, on Glamour magazine. You remember?
Yes. I do know exactly what you're talking about.
I was looking at this girl and I was like, oh my God, she's so comfortable in her own skin. And she says that this is her, that's what she got. This is how she was born, and it's amazing. And she loves who she is, in and out. And I was blown away.
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed because I never had this kind of role models to look up to. And I always thought that I need to change myself in order to fit in. And right there in this moment, I understood that I need to do something in order to change other girls' lives.
Right, because if you're looking at this cover girl and she's super confident and she's so, okay with the way that she looks and how she was born and what her mama gave her, and you're looking and you're thinking, oh, well, if I am looking at her being self-conscious, there's so many other girls in the world that look at her like that. And so you decided to kind of change that perspective through your lectures on body image and stuff like that.
Yeah, everything started with the blog because when I started to go to agencies and people in their industry, people were like saying, okay, it's important, but they didn't really most of them didn't really want to
take that risk. Yes. Let's say back then it was a risk,
and it's still sort of a risk,
right?
Because people they know they go in the same path.
Right. They know what they think they like, and they know
Exactly.
what they think they want to see.
And what they study and what they raised on,
Right,
you know, and then you say, let's change everything. So it's hard for them to
Right.
accept that the
It's
world
hard
is
for,
changing.
exactly. It's hard for an entire society to be like,
Exactly.
we are used to having this specific
Yes.
girl with this specific hair and this specific size, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, in a span of what, 5 to 10 years, you see completely different girls of all like
Exactly.
heights and weights and races and everything.
And this is actually, it's thanks to the social media.
right.
Because
definitely.
I could never be exposed to a girl like Lizzie Miller unless I was exposed to blogs.
Right,
You know? And
Ashley
this is-
Graham. How would we have
Now,
gotten to
yeah,
Ashley Graham without
exactly.
that? So we see here in the background a video of your Blazer cover shoot.
Yeah,
What was that like, getting on Blazer, getting the call, and the shoot
Amazing.
itself?
It was amazing because it was like it's like being recognized for what you do, and I was working so hard to get this recognition
Right.
from the Israel industry of fashion, and it's not just fashion. Blazer, it's more. It's a man. It's like
Men's
the
magazine, yeah.
it's like the Sports Illustrated of Israel. So yeah, it was like a dream come true.
Yeah,
You know?
and you look gorgeous in here.
Thank
you
you.
look absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
know,
They did a really good job.
you did a really good job. You look
Thanks.
amazing in these pictures, and it's it's really admiring and very inspirational that you're gonna go and be on the cover of these Blazer magazines in lingerie and like very very tight, and everything is. I don't know if I could have the confidence to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of women are probably looking at you being like, "Go you."
Yeah, for me, it was very natural to do it from
Right.
the start.
Right.
I felt very comfortable doing it, even though I was uncomfortable with my personality or with men or with career
Definitely.
or other things. Something about doing it. I think it's because I felt like it's a mission, like I have a purpose for it.
Right.
It gave me a lot of courage to do it.
Because you know that you're inspiring other people through the fact that you're on this cover right now. You
Yeah.
know that people are going to look at you just like you looked at Liz Martin and you were like, "Oh, this is what I need to be doing."
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I just have a really quick question. Do you have any advice to give to other aspiring models?
Well, I think that first you need to really understand if it's something that you really want to do,
Right.
because it takes a lot of work. In order to be professional, you need to study, you need to research, you need to do a lot of stuff and get out from your comfort zone.
Definitely.
And it's not something that happens like this.
So we can't wait to see where you do go next, and we're
Thank
very proud
you.
of you, and can't
Thank
wait to have
you.
you back on the show for your
Thanks
next
for
magazine
having
cover.
me.
Thank you so much. So if you aren't already, make sure to follow Ray Segev on Instagram, check out her blog for her latest updates, and see what cover she'll be gracing us with next. Okay, so before we wrap up today's show, we have our final guest here in the studio, Noah Bonnet, to discuss some of the top news both in Israel and internationally. So let's just get started. How are you, babe?
I'm good. How
You're
are you?
good?
Yeah, I was I was a little hesitation, but yeah, I'm good.
You were like, I don't really know how to answer that. Okay.
Yeah,
so
very
we're
general.
Jumping straight into what happened at the British Film Awards.
Yes.
We're talking about the Time's Up movement. It started, everyone's
Yeah.
wearing black. Why don't you tell us what happened with Kate Middleton?
So Kate Middleton is like, I want to say she's like the queen of Britain, but she's not. She's their idol. She's their Noah Kirel.
Right. Okay, I heard Noah Kirel.
because everybody's like admiring. I want to connect them to the Israeli audience.
Right.
So basically, Kate Middleton, they have this rule in the palace that they can't have a political view through outfits.
Right.
So she wore this amazing.
Specifically through outfits, though?
Yeah, they
Okay.
have all these kind of specific rules. They can't even have their own signature because someone can fake it, and like they have all kinds of rules. They can't have an Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
All these regulations that they're
Yeah,
not
they have
allowed
a
to be
lot
part
of regulations. So one of them, they can't pronounce, like they can't say anything through their clothes, basically.
Okay.
So she wore this really green, beautiful gown. and had this like not red. It has this like
Black strap.
Yeah, this black strap around it. So like it was very elegant, and also people said, oh, maybe that's her way.
That's her little sign of showing that she really
Yes.
is, you know, involved in this Time's Up movement.
Yes.
And it's really funny because I was talking to my producer before, and she was like, okay, so what color did she wear if she didn't wear black? Like, I'd hope it was something similar, and it was dark green.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see I think she cares. I think she knows. I think the whole thing is planned. But the thing is, people started to say, hey, Mrs. Middleton, why can't, like, they wanted her because she's so in such a powerful place in her,
right.
such a powerful position in her life. They wanted her to be a part of this movement, to see that the palace as well has this agreement.
Right, because when you think about it, it's really not about politics. When you really, really think about it, the Time's Up movement started because of all the sexual harassment in Hollywood and the women, you know, standing up for themselves and coming out with all of these allegations against people for sexual harassment, especially in that industry. So you would assume you're coming to the British Film Awards.
Yeah.
You're
Assuming she will be a part of it as a woman, as a powerful woman, as one of the most famous women in the world.
This is standing up for women's rights. This is standing up for the Time's Up movement. This is standing up for everything that's been going around.
It's really important, and I wish she would part of it. Like, I can understand because, you know, being, I don't know, a princess or whatever.
But she's not a typical princess either. She's not part of this family. She didn't
She's
come up
wearing
royalty.
Zara.
She's wearing Zara. But you know what I mean. You know, she didn't have the most traditional transition into becoming a princess. She did not have the most, like, you know, regular life and transition in the past couple of years. So I would assume that she would have taken that step and gone the step above and been like,
we're in the
let's
future.
do it.
This is 2018.
100%.
You can like pronounce your views through clothing.
100%.
The clothing, and nobody will, I don't know, will say anything. So
I agree with you. Well,
yeah,
okay.
sorry, Kate.
Sorry, Kate. Okay. So let's really back into Israeli news for a sec. The Got Talent reality show has officially hit the Israeli market years after every other country. And of course, we had to break some kind of record. After all, we are overachievers. The young Israeli superstar, Noah Kirel,
as we mentioned
before here in the back, is the youngest judge in all of Got Talent history. Like, she's 16 years old.
She's making history through like being in a really delayed show in Israel. So like she's making history about a show that like
everybody has already heard about.
Yeah, it was supposed to be here like 10 years ago. So, you know, everybody's talking about like Got Talent, which is actually about talent. It's not about singing, as like the Israeli crowd really likes singing shows.
Yeah.
So we have like 4 of them per like in all the channels. So the show came, and they had all these kind of people with all these kind of like weird skills. You had like a guy that was dance polling.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and that's really funny because he's here on the background, and Noah Kirel had this whole thing. She's, for anybody that doesn't know, she's 16 years old.
She's a mega superstar.
Superstar here in Israel. She sings, she dances, she does absolutely everything.
She's like the Israeli Beyonce.
Right, and a lot of girls, you know, there's been a lot of backlash about the fact that she's been on the show, that she's judging, that she doesn't have enough experience, when in reality, in my opinion, I think she knows what we're looking for. She knows what the young crowd is like, you know, wants. Regardless of how I feel about her music and her music videos, that's something else. I think she's really cute, but you know,
when you see her in interviews, she's really got her like together.
Yeah.
Like she has her feet on the ground.
Definitely.
She talks like she's in her 30s. Okay,
Yes.
but it is really surprising to see a 16-year-old girl that actually, you know, knows how to talk, knows how to answer.
She has herself really put together.
Yeah, she has this vibe. You see her walking down like the stairs. She's not 16. She's like a 30-year-old woman trapped in a 16. It's like Freaky Friday, okay?
Oh, I love that movie. Wait, so what do you think? What's your opinion about the fact that she's been doing this, that she's on the show?
I don't know why people care so much. She's a business, and it's like you can talk about the fact about if it's right or wrong to let her be a singer from the age of 13, but she's into it. She's gonna do things like that, whether you like it or not.
What do you mean she's in it? She has more views on YouTube than most of the stars here in Israel.
Yeah, she's the business. It's funny to see that a 16-year-old girl became the dream of every like professional singer.
Right.
Like you can see like a 27-year-old singer that wants to be like Noah Kirel, which is like she's 16, but she's like a business.
All right. So lastly, let's bring it back to some international news that I just can't get over, and I literally just need to discuss this. I'm sure you've all seen and heard Fergie's national anthem performance at the NBA All-Star Game. Noah,
you sent me the video.
What?
You sent me the video.
What?
And
what are we thinking about this?
Okay, so first of all, Fergie, you're not Beyonce. Like
What is happening?
The whole vibe was just inappropriate. It wasn't.
Look, they're holding back their laughs. All the NBA players
Yeah,
were
I
just
saw
trying not
LeBron
to
James.
laugh.
I saw LeBron James just like standing, like just dying not to laugh.
Listen, and I have to touch upon this because we're gonna connect it back to Israel somehow, and you know, like the I guess you could say respect for our national anthem.
Yeah.
As an Israeli, you grew up here. What can you tell me about the national anthem, like as opposed to how she just broke it down?
Okay.
Like, would that ever happen here in Israel?
So first of all, the Israeli national anthem, you sing it in like really particular events. You can't just like walk away and just sing the Tikva.
Yeah,
Okay.
casually.
And
in a dress with no sleeves, with no
and no
shoulders on.
underwear, I guess. So just like a fun fact, if you know, like the American hip hop artist Anderson .Paak actually symbolized the Israeli the national anthem. He put like there's a song that's based on the melody of the Israeli national anthem.
Right.
So and it was like a kind of a shock.
It's kind of a big deal because you're remixing the national
anthem. And here, you guys, if you don't know this, the national anthem is really sensitive. It's just like, it's kind of sad that we only sing it in like sad events,
right?
But that's what we do. So in America, the national anthem, they sing
it everywhere. You sing it everywhere, which I get. I appreciate it. I like the respect for it. But this was
really and I like Fergie. I like her vibe. I like her music videos, but she's not the right choice.
And I felt bad because she did say that she wanted to make it a more artistic sense. She really wanted to kind of had her own twist, which is fine. But not with the national anthem. But anyway, thank you so much, Noah.
Thank you for having me.
For being here discussing Israeli and international topics. I really appreciate it. And you guys are definitely going to see her back on the show. If not, next week, the week after, for sure. All right, guys, unfortunately, that's all the time we have left of this episode of Israel in Style. Thank you so much to all our guests who came into the studio today. And for all you viewers out there that want to catch up on any episode, check us out on iltv.tv/Israel in Style for the latest updates. Have a fabulous week, everyone. Bye-bye.